Hey everyone, it's Darren Benton with Performance Motorcoaches. Wanted to do a video of our very first 2025 Vienna. Lots of information to kind of talk about in this video, talk about some of the differences in the 24s to 25s, and also hopefully here to kind of dispel the myth of the new 2-liter versus the 3-liter engine of the past. So this coach is actually not a coach that we ordered. This coach was from another dealer that I guess either had too many, doesn't really matter, but I was fortunate to get the coach, just kind of given our timing here in Indiana. We had basically a lull of a few days, and we had an opportunity to go use it last weekend and kind of get a feel for it, kind of figure out what we liked, what we didn't like. I'll just kind of jump right into it. So essentially, anything prior to about a year ago, those chassis were actually 22 model chassis, even though most of the Renegades were 23 or 24. It's not a big deal as long as the Renegade stamps it, whatever it is. So this is actually a 23 model chassis, but 25 model unit. There again, not a big deal. That's what everybody's going to be up against. The Sprinters have had lots of delays. There's been lots of recalls to kind of inhibit, or not to inhibit the sales, but just prevent the sales because of some of the recalls. So this is the new 2-liter. I believe horsepower on this is 208 horsepower. The others were pretty close to that number. We drove this coach, roughly about 400 miles up to central Michigan. We let the air conditioner run the whole time. This coach does have generator delete, so we gave us lots of good insight on fuel economy, power, what kind of battery life we had in the coach. So lots of valuable information that obviously kind of in turn helps us sell these units. This coach will be headed back to Texas either first thing in the morning or late tonight. It will be available for sale there at the dealership there in Texas. So as far as paint scheme, this is Geneva, which is kind of I'm a silver, gray, white kind of go-to guy. So I really love the paint scheme on this. Great for really hot environments. Really happy with the bunk over here not having a lot of dark color on it. They seem to get really hot, so I'm glad anything that's dark is kind of centralized throughout the coach. So to me, a great color to have to be able to stay relatively cool in really hot environments. So with the stock suspension on most of these Viennas, 65 to 70 is kind of your limit unless you modify it. For the most part, you can just do a sway bar, and that tightens up the rear suspension quite a bit. It was pretty darn windy when we were driving this. We were probably 15, 20 mile an hour winds. So we averaged, I believe it was 15.5 miles a gallon, and that's with letting it idle a little bit. As far as batteries, this coach sat at our house, unplugged all weekend. We ran the keep on saying generator. We ran the air conditioner for a little bit, and then we ran the air conditioner nonstop from the time that we left to the time we got back. That was roughly 24 hours. So 2 hours up, 2 hours back. Now, from the time that I stopped it, which is about 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon, I ran the air conditioner at 60. I did stay in the coach. My bride did not stay in the coach. I just wanted to kind of see what was going on. So I stayed in the coach on Sunday night, and about 7 o'clock I noticed that we had a little bit of low power issues, and so that was basically the batteries kind of being done. Don't know the state of charge whenever I started it, but even if you said that the batteries were 100% state of charge at 3 o'clock, to go all the way to 7 o'clock and run the air conditioner at basically sub-zero temperatures, I kept it on 56, 58, and it has no problem getting 60 degrees, especially in this environment. So very happy with the performance. Didn't feel like I needed any more power whatsoever. So I was very apprehensive to jump from that 3-liter down to this 2-liter motor. I think that's coupled with the 9-speed transmission. So I think that like everything's getting more gears. I think really what helps this out is having the 9-speed transmission. So I've got no issues with it power-wise. So we do need to do a little bit stouter sway bar in the back, and I think that'll make all the difference in the world. But no concerns power-wise. Fuel economy, that's kind of what you expect. I'm certain that people say I get 20 plus miles a gallon. I don't ever get that because I drive generally pretty hard and heavy. Not so much the case here, just because it feels a little squirrely above 70 whenever you have 15, 20 mile an hour winds. So other than paint schemes, that was the biggest difference in 2025. Some of the 2 liters popped up in 24, but basically anything 25 and newer will be the 2 liter. Compartments really haven't changed. Outdoor TV, the Truma Go water system, none of that's changed. But the baggage compartments compared to the others out on the market, just incredibly nice and clean. They use the same type baggage door, same type latch, just a single latch on the Viennas. They do their Highline coaches. So just nice and clean when it closes. You don't have to slam it. No top swing, so very easy to get into. Of course, with the generator delete on this, have a fair amount of room as far as compartment wise, and we'll get into the batteries on the other side. So simple little Girard awning, not the heaviest duty, but that does a good job, and I think it's far superior than what you would get with the Carefrees of the past. So come around back here. All the Viennas will have extension of the frame. I've seen a lot of different manufacturers make what I consider lots of mistakes. Renegade does a phenomenal job extending the frame back here, and they can accommodate up to 4,200 pound trailer. A lot of the units out there are 3,000, and I think it's because of the way they make the frame extensions. So nice clean. They do not do a full fiberglass rear cap to alleviate weight. So basically this guy, the trim piece up there to try to pull some of the weight off of it. So nice clean wet bay. It does have the remote fill for your propane, and it is vented. And then your gray and your black underneath that. I think those are 29 gallons a piece and 34 gallons fresh water. So most of the Renegades that we concentrate on do have the Victron inverter. This is a Xantrex. Now, if you talk to the diehards, the kind of the connectability of the Victron is better, but most of them feel that the actual hardware, a Xantrex inverter is a better inverter. For 25, they pulled all the charging parameters out of the Firefly. Lots of issues with that in the past. Of course, from the stuff that we concentrate on, the Verona Elite, that's always been pulled. That's been pulled out of the Firefly since 2022. So a little bit more work with the Xantrex controller, but the charge parameters work so much better, especially with any kind of lithium on board. So 3,000 watt, 12 volt, and then right up front here, kind of my favorite bay, you've got 2 400 amp hour lithium batteries. These are TB. I've not done too much research on the TBs. One thing that kind of my number one favorite about these, I'll let the motorcycle go by. You have a lot of amp hours for a pretty small package versus our go-to. Most other batteries are the Battleborns, and they're just, to get that kind of amp hours in this, coaches have to get a lot bigger. Would have to go up. Be really difficult to be able to cram. You couldn't do that. So they do a good job of doing a lot of amp hours in a relatively small compartment. You could technically add a third battery over here on the right. So somebody that says, hey, I want to go all in, not a problem for us to add another battery. Basically all the charge controls will still operate as such, so very few steps in integrating them, just a matter of putting the hardware in itself. What I like about this is the freedom. We went up to an event for one of our customers and didn't want to draw any attention to us, not wanting to run a generator. We didn't stay there overnight. I did stay in a parking lot at a hotel. The air conditioner is running right now. You hear more road noise than you do anything else. So I'd like the freedom of being able to go places and kind of blend in, not have this, this rackety generator making all this noise. And by the way, anything 25 and newer will only have a propane generator. So you have dual fuel that makes things a little bit more difficult. This does have the second alternator from the factory. So 280 amps of 12 volt alternator power charging those batteries. So essentially really won't be pulling any more than that 280 amps whenever you even running your air conditioner itself. Outdoor TV, small little JBL. I don't believe that they're doing smart TVs. I'm not certain where they're able to buy TVs that aren't smart anymore. There has to be some type of hole that they get the non-smart TVs. I'll verify that, but I'm pretty darn certain that they're not using the smart TVs. So I like to show the coaches kind of closed up. We are running the air conditioner because my camera person sometimes gets hot, and when she gets hot, she gets angry. So still a decent amount of room. I can get here. I can get in here and get my kind of cold drink or beverage, snack or anything. And then back here, I can still get to the bathroom and be able to walk through. So a little bit tighter. I really can't do it like this, but I can do it this no problem. Be able to get back in there. I'm going to go ahead and operate the slides. So single Schwintek, they've done a few different advancements on the Schwintek in the last year or so. We've never really had issues with these. It was predominantly the big kitchen slides on the bigger coaches. So I understand why they use them. It's relatively easy, fast installation. Parts readily available, and for the most part, most dealers in the country can fix these Schwintek slides. They generally have the parts in stock on hand all the time. So this is what is considered an RMC, where Murphy lounge, but doesn't have a bunk over. If it's RMC, the C at the very end, basically that's the cab over bunk. So all the floor plans that are offered with or without a bunk over, I like to bring them in. If you don't use them for sleeping, just simply for storage. I don't feel like they really inhibit the drivability. Having that's relatively aerodynamic, and you see how much room you have here. You got a ton of room to be able to put stuff, grandkids, anything like that, or just extra junk. So this does roll back and forth. It will pin into place. We didn't. We just kept it basically just right here. And you do have a little bunk curtain right here to isolate this. If you do have some rugrats up there you don't want to hear from, or trying to kind of isolate them. Optional table here. We had that out. I just wanted to kind of show that. I think it was 2019 whenever they did the whole remake of the cab. They drive better, the headlights are better, all your adaptive cruise, everything like that works far better. Everything is much more integrated as well. You can do basically like an Apple CarPlay within the radio there, and you have all the steering wheel controls. I do not believe that these seats turn around. You think I should double check? I'm going to pull this out of the way. To know for certain, they do. They do turn around. Don't get my butt. You get my butt?
I did.
Let me see it. Let me see if the drivers. Oh, they do. They both turn around. I would have bet not. So it is the factory seats. They don't use any kind of aftermarket. They don't recover them. So this is the factory Mercedes seat. Does have the airbags integrated in them. So still a lot of safety within the cab itself. So Athens, which is kind of a gray tone. This is the decor group, which decor basically means this guy and the upholstery itself. The soft touch walls, there's not an option for those. They're basically all the same. And then they were doing some of these opposing walls and wallboard, and it drove me nuts to have such nice interior, high-end maple, and they were doing wallboard here. So guess what, kids? We do have a soft touch vinyl. Looks different than the rest, but I think it kind of ties it all in. Versus that is your wallboard. I just couldn't deal with having the opposing wall and the wallboard. So the stain here is cashmere. It is not a high gloss. That's one of the stains that I will generally option the high gloss in, because I think it really pops. What I don't like about normal stains with high gloss, you see every little fingerprint, any kind of issues, any kind of trash within that. So I think it kind of cleans it up and classes it up a little bit to do the high gloss, but still not a bad looking finish at all. Movable sink top here. Close this just to try to alleviate some heat. It's nice to have that big window. I wish that these guys would get that big window in their Verona LEs and their classics and everything like that. So maybe we'll see that window in the future. This window is still a single pane. It's not a dual pane, but maybe in our bucket of tricks we can find the big window. Wouldn't everybody like to have that window in their big coach? So a little charge port right here. Induction cooktop, which that's an option to be able to do gas or induction. This is pretty cool to see. So back up a little bit and kind of see this whole kitchen. Very seldom, I mean, when do you see something with everything kind of flushed in? So you generally see your drawer faces on the outside of that, but this is kind of cool that it's really flush and nice. I don't recall any particular coach that really does that. Everything has to be just perfect. So that's the reason why most manufacturers don't, but they do a phenomenal job. Nice clean look without having to worry about lots of adjustment. So all dovetail. I apologize for kind of getting off on a tangent. We have a few of our personal items in here we will get out. But nice dovetail. In fact, everything Renegade 2025 and newer is all dovetail. They've always had it in the Viennas, but nice higher end. All your hardware is much higher quality than what you would see any other product. So Firefly really hasn't changed too much other than they did pull the charge parameters out. I want to show you this guy right here. For anybody that buys this, this will be the #1 reason why you call us, because it is kind of a pain to turn the inverter on and off through that. So if you end up buying this coach, make sure that we do a separate video for you just solely on the operation of that. I wish that it was set up where the disconnect turned on, it just turned on automatically. It will turn off automatically, but when you come back to coach, you'll have to enable your inverter every single time. So maybe that's something we'll kind of work on, but there's definitely a learning curve there. We've seen this Antrix controller for eons, and back 10 years ago, I almost had like a shell shock about some of the phone calls because people would get in there and do some funky things with that. So this is convertible. I won't bore you with everything. Basically, this goes down. Got to pull these cushions up just a little bit, and there's actually 3 pieces that go into place there. So these guys right here, you have 2 of these long pieces right here underneath each side of the dinette. If you weren't utilizing it, I would take all this out and leave it out so you gain a lot more storage. Little snaps right here, go back in place. Make sure the other side is snapped as well. And then you do have some storage underneath here. Did you hide the cushion from me?
I put it over there.
Oh, so normally this cushion's right here. I wish these were dovetail as well. It's not a bad setup. Definitely functional. So the way that this guy operates right here, I will pull this out of the way. Got a little angry with the back side of that the other day. Figured a lot more people want to see the operation of this versus the convertible dinette. This folds flat. Could I lay here if I wanted to? Rather lay here than the floor. So a person could lay here, just not, you won't flip around too much. So roll this out. And then we got this, unlock here and here. So for a tall guy like me, I just slept corner to corner. Of course, I had it on sub-zero, so it wasn't really a big deal, but see here, my head's at the top. I have to have several inches of bed below my feet, so it was me right here, corner to corner. Slept like it was 60 degrees out, and it was. So all this stuff just kind of folds back up into place. You do have a charge port over here, and on this wall there is USB and USB-C on each side of that, and you do have the window at the head of the bed. So this will fold back up. I want to make sure that this stays out of out of these mechanisms. We've had a few of them kind of get a little messed up, so try to keep that out of the folding mechanism. That's the only downfall we've seen. Well, I think we're okay there. Lock it back into place on either side. We're ready for our day. Put these doodads back. And we have a coach that goes back into place. I'll open up this to just be able to see out, so you can kind of see what windows do open. So both of these open right here, and then that's a slider right there. So you can get a fair amount of cross breeze, and you do have the max air fan up top here. So 12 volt compressor fridge, which everybody's kind of gone to. We used a little Vienna twin bed back in November, and the cooling fan really drove me nuts on that. We were able to go through and kind of isolate that. I've not noticed the cooling fan making nearly as much noise in this, so I'm pretty happy with that. And loads of hominy, all the hominy. You can put at least 28 pounds of hominy, 1 gallon for every little shelf in here. These are not convertible, they are fixed, but you can put a lot of hominy in there. Lock that into place. Nice compartment down there as well. I'll open up this. Maybe you put your bottles of wine in that. It's really, or you put your tall boys in there. So I already opened up this, but I just wanted to kind of finish it out. Your Truma Go, your controller is right back there. You'll be able to dial in your temperature. And then this can be the fun part. We've done one video back here. So shower itself, I'm gonna have you go in the shower. Step all the way in the shower. So can two people get ready back in here? So it's closed up. Got our 110s right here. So I can do my business here. You can do your business there. And this is what I was so excited about last time. Who has a closet like this? I can smuggle people in here. So nice big giant closet. I could sleep in here if I had to. I could lay down, take a little nap. This thing doesn't break and me just go straight. So the water tank is underneath here, but nice big closet, huge closet. I'm trying not to damage my leg on the way out, but a ton of room. And there again, nice solid wood maple. Not convertible shelves like we're accustomed to, but a fair amount of storage. I mean, to me, this has the most amount of storage. Gives you plenty of room to get ready in the morning and be able to put a lot of things. I guess the only thing that I would probably change, my traveling partner would probably like to have little shelves for each one of the hair care products all the way down through here, because I think that we're going to get somewhat limited in that guy right there. But all in all, decent amount of room. I can plop down here in the toilet. I can get relaxed. And then we're going to flip-flop around. And you can see me in the shower. The shower door in this is definitely dummy-proof. I don't think I'll get stuck in this shower. Oh! It's a little tight now. So, you can see I can get to my man-fro up here. Got a fair amount of room. It's a little tight this way, so probably going to do this number, but you're in basically a B+. So there's not a ton of room here. I don't know if they can ever. They could probably make that a little bit wider, but until I order 100, they probably won't make it any wider for me. But decent amount of space. You do have a max air fan back here. And like there's like a little magnet back here that holds this door back. You hear that? That's pretty impressive, kids. So this is our basically our what will be our second year for selling the Viennas. We don't sell a ton of them, but I think we do relatively well, kind of considering we know the product. I feel like we know the product better than most other dealers, and you know, we do a lot of things that other dealers don't, so we won't necessarily get into that. But happy to have the product. We keep all these Viennas in the showroom, you know, out of the dirt, out of the wind, out of the West Texas weather. So if anybody wants to come see a Vienna, we'll try to keep these things in the showroom. Check out our website, it's pmcrv.com. This coach is pictured. I've got it on the net, and then I will make sure that there's a YouTube link on our website. So if you end up the reverse side, but basically check us out. Happy to have them. We have a few stock Viennas that are coming in, I think October-ish, so we'll have some more. Anybody that wants to order one, let us know. We'll be happy to accommodate any orders. Anything kind of custom as well. I think there's too much to do as far as customization, but if you have any needs, wishes, or wants, make sure you give us a shout. Appreciate you guys watching the video. Hope we kind of changed things up a little bit. Make sure you guys like, tag, and subscribe.